When I first saw Cara Dune in The Mandalorian, I was a bit worried. Star Wars has a track record of adding in Mary Sue characters, and with each episode having a different director, that fear was definitely increased, but I was wrong. I think Cara Dune is a badass. She is what a strong female character should be. All of the time, she was amazing. She can hold her own, she's got wits, she's attractive, and she is not a Mary Sue. And I think that the actress that portrayed her, Gina Carano, definitely played her in an amazing way. She looked great in her armor, and she played the role perfectly. She really fit into the atmosphere. She didn't feel like a character that was just put in place for a specific reason. She really was meshed into the story, and she did play a big part in the episode that she was part of. And I would say that most people agree with this. When you create a character without an agenda behind them, usually people will enjoy the character. But now we have people trying to make the Star Wars fan base look toxic yet again by saying that apparently The Mandalorian has triggered outrage because it has a female in it, which is the furthest from the truth. Side note here, I am a woman and I love seeing strong female characters in TV shows and in movies, and I am not outraged at all by a female being on screen. What outrages me is when they create a character specifically to push an agenda or a narrative, and by subtly doing it, but then the further that the character progresses, the more you can tell. I do not like that. That is what outrages me when it comes to a female or even a male character when they are placed in something for a specific reason, when they have no purpose of being there. So this is the article I am going to be reading. It is titled, of course, The Mandalorian, Cara Dune Triggers Outrage by Being Female in Star Wars. For almost the entire Disney era of Star Wars, a subsection of franchise fans have complained about every female character who's played a leading role. Rey has been labeled a Mary Sue, Rose Tico has been called useless or out of place, and more characters have been described as underdeveloped. That is true. Rey is a Mary Sue, and Rose Tico is a pretty useless character. I don't want to necessarily say Rose Tico is completely useless. She is a side character. She's not meant to have a leading role and make a huge difference in the plot, but she was yet another character thrown into the mix that didn't make a lot of sense. That's now followed the property to the small screen with the new Disney Plus series, The Mandalorian. Of course, it says for the first 3 episodes, there was not a lot of females. But however, in the 4th episode, they introduced 2 women, Cara Dune and Omera. In breaking down why they're angry, however, the fans they mean, it becomes clear the reasons for their objections are patently ridiculous. Forced diversity. One of the big criticisms is that these new women of Star Wars represent a form of forced diversity in which female characters, LGBT characters, or people of color are given prominent roles in a narrative. According to people who employ the term forced diversity as a serious critique, it's bad practice to cast women or people of color into Star Wars because it isn't necessary. This is the furthest thing from the truth. Of course, they go into the criticism surrounding Omera. They go into the criticism surrounding Cara Dune. Yet none of it is true. It is all them, all the writer. All they are trying to do is to push the fact that a couple of people on the internet are upset. But do you want to hear what is funny enough? The few people that they are quoting, one of the few people that they are quoting, is a parody account. This person says, new plan, give me the pulse rifle. Hashtag the Mandalorian is scared by the ATST. He hands his gun to Cara and watches her single-handedly taking it down. He comes afterwards to throw a pathetic grenade at the already defeated Walker. If you click on this account, do you know what it is? It is a parody account. that is not affiliated with J.J. Abrams. All they do is parody the shows and the movies. They are quoting a parody account. Not a lot of people are actually upset by this TV show and by one female character being in it. And one of the things that I do want to point out here, when it comes to females being in lead roles, let's look at Rey, let's look at all of these female characters. It's not their gender that bothers people. To me, it is not their gender that bothers me. The reason why I criticize and critique these female characters is not their gender. It is the way in which these characters have been written. They have been written with a specific narrative behind them. They are amazingly just badass right off the get-go. They are Mary Sue's. They can do incredible things with minimum effort. They never ever lose and they always win. This is what a Mary Sue is, and this is why a lot of people do not like Rey, for instance. J.J. Abrams even said that she is supposed to just be mysteriously amazing. We don't know why yet. They haven't explained it yet. This is why people don't like these characters. It is not because they are a female. It is because they are written in a specific way to push a specific narrative. But let everyone know your thoughts in the comments section down below. What do you think about forced diversity in Star Wars? Do you really see anyone being outraged by one female character being in The Mandalorian? I am not outraged at all. I think the female characters that were in The Mandalorian were amazing and well done characters, and that is what I want to see when it comes to females being on the big screen. I do not want female characters to have a bad reputation. But if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to share it and give it a like. And of course, if you did not like it, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way. But I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.